Hello, you are speaking to Lewis from the future. Before we get into today's video, this video was originally shot before harvest on the 13th of July. I've got quite a bit of footage stored up at the moment which I need to clear the backlog of and then get back into a better habit with my upload schedule. So apologies for that, but I just wanted to take a moment to thank everybody who's donated so far to my parachute jump to raise money for Tapping House. There's still time to donate. I'd appreciate some more donations. I'd really like to meet my target of £600. I've already donated and set my fees for the jump itself, so that'd be great if we could get a little bit more to achieve the goal, because it is a really good cause for the hospice. Anyway, harvest went well. Subscribe and you'll see the backlog of videos coming up now. So I'm going to take you back to the wonderful date of the 13th of July when I am welding the header up. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to NorfolkFords. Today it is Sunday and I want to get ahead and make sure my combine's ready. If we have a look here, this was the old centre skid, or centre to left really. And last year I was getting quite a lot of bung ups because this is the front of the header. And as you can see, if crop is, or stubble is going over here, you're going to catch all the while, and that's when we get soil build-up. Eventually that build-up's in front of the knife. So I had quite a few issues with this section last year. We knew when we bought the combine last year that, probably need to replate the bottom of the header at some point. Hoping it'd do a full season without any problems, but this panel took exception to that. So today I've cut it off. Didn't have a thermal incident considering the amount of straw that was tucked behind it. And yeah, let's just have a look at the Frankenstein's monster which I'm about to have a go at. So if I'm correct in remembering, this is one of the centerpieces as well, and as you can see this is quite badly scuffed and scratched. And actually I think I might want to replate this as well, even though they've taken the time to give it some wear strips. I don't think it's done a lot of good because they're actually getting quite thin around the edges, and you can see where this is thin enough that it's bent to the frame. So that one shouldn't be too bad. The worst bit is taking the time to remove those wear plates. And then this one is tack welded just up here a little bit. And it's a little bit Frankenstein, so they're tack welded together for some reason. Obviously this is all welded in situ, so you can see from the pigeon poo style welds this was not an easy challenge. Instead I removed all the bolts, dropped them on the floor, and suddenly you've got a lot more movement around and you can do a hell of a lot more. So if I show you the underside of this panel, let me pick it up nicely. That'll do. This original skid, absolutely paper thin. This front section is not connected. We've got a massive gaping hole. So this one is going to be an absolute pig. So hopefully where the metal's still half decent, we'll get some good welds. We'll bridge that gap and sort of make a bit more structure to it again. But the thing is, that looks to me like they've cut that for some reason. So this obviously got thin here, you can see from the edges, and then they've cut the front section off, and it's all just cut at really weird angles. Like, look, that's more of a wedge, that's not a square. You fools. That's made my day tricky, perhaps, but we'll see how we get on. So I'm going to attack that one next, and then I've got another one to finish as well, which is this one here, which again I think that is, yeah, this is actually meant to be two separate panels. I think this might be the centre because it's just an odd little section to make it have the right amount of areas for the sections, I guess. unless I am mistaken, because that doesn't look entirely straight. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll flip it and cut it and start going anyway. So the plate outside was off of this skid here. If you actually look at the skid, there's still some half decent metal here. So what I'll probably do is I'll get the grind wheel on, take that down a little bit further where the welds were, then I'll put my new plate over. I'm just cutting that out of some simple plate, and just like Art Attack, here's one I made earlier. Was it Blue Peter? I think Blue Peter and Art Attack also did. Here's one I made earlier. So this is 50 centimeters across, because the sheet metal I've got just over there, excuse the workshop, it's a little bit of a mess, we're busy, is a little bit over 1 meter. I think it's like 101, 102, it's not a lot in it. So if I do 50 centimeter strips, I get 2 strips out of a plate, and I can roughly do 1.5 of these panels per strip. So that's gone on quite neat. That was very pleasing to do, because I thought this was going to be quite a thin panel. As you can see, sort of like here and here, it's obviously quite thin. But no, I had decent heat on the welder. I think I've got some half decent penetration, and it actually looks very neat and tidy. So that's all looking well and good. So I'm going to put the camera down. I should have brought my GoPro and done a time lapse or something really, but sorry, just haven't put it on charge recently. So you guys can check in later. I'm going to get sweaty because it's quite hot today already. It's about 6:45 in the morning and it's already warm. I know I'm wearing a welding jacket, but yeah. I tell you what, welding jackets, definitely recommend. It's one of those things. I was welding like last month, and I was just getting the amount of spit off of it because I was doing hard facing for the tulip lifter. We do hard facing on the soil moving augers, and oh god, it just spit that much. I thought, you know what, I'm going to see how much a jacket was, thinking they're going to be like 100, 200 quid. 50 quid off Amazon. Really chuffed, and now I've got it. It's just like, well, I always want to wear it if I'm cutting and welding. Bit bougie perhaps, but would recommend. NorfolkFords would recommend. Oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. This is actually somewhat tacked together, but what an absolute massacre. You can see where that is just paper thin there. Oh, that's got a lot of flex. So I'll get rid of the straw and have a look at that one when I get to the welding section. I'm doing all the cutting first. So I'll get all of these panels chopped down. I'll then get the metalwork chopped down. There's an offcut. That's the 50 that I was on about. So then, yeah, all the cutting, all the grinding, all the welding. Hopefully it will run that smoothly. Right, all of the skids are now cut. I'm doing the British thing and having a quick cup of tea, and then I'm moving on to cutting at the big plates. So there's my straight edge, and I've drawn a line near enough straight down the middle. I've measured 50 centimeters from that side, so that should leave me with similar to the other side after cutting. So once I've got that cut, I shall have a measure up of my skids. There's the old ones, and I will see how many skids I can do out of this. I'm hoping I shouldn't have to cut another plate, but I have got enough plate if I need to. So I'll just show you this one quite quickly. So this little one I think is an odd, like off to centre skid, and it's been plated over twice if you look, but I'm not going to remove the extra plate on this one because the extra plate is actually that thin. I don't dare remove it because I think I'll have bigger problems. So I shall grind these flush, and I shall add my plate over the top of this one, just because this one seems exceptionally thin. I'm not willing to risk it. So that one's going to be a little bit extra, but it's quite skinny, so we'll hardly notice. And if I do additional wear strips down the middle of these plates, you won't notice the height difference on this one in particular. So they'll all roughly work out about the same, but over the length of a 20-foot header, we're not going to know the difference. So I'm going to finish my cup of tea and then we'll crack on.